All right, I wanted to share this wonderful experience I had yesterday. I was in a sound healing class. So for me, it was the very first experience I've ever had with sound bowls. If you've never done that, maybe you'd like to check it out. I found it quite interesting. And the location where I am right now, the hotel that I'm staying in, has had this sound healing class, and they have a lot of other classes, yoga, etc. But this was a really interesting one. For those of you who know my background, I've done a lot of energy medicine. I'm trained as a shaman. I don't generally use those skills. Occasionally it comes up in my life, but it is kind of in my tool bag. And so last night, when I was in this sound bath, a sound healing class, it was really amazing. I was expecting a great nap because we had our blankets out, we were on our yoga mats, and the experience I had there was very different from what I expected. I thought I was going to be just, lulled into a really nice nap. And that's not at all what happened. Instead, I was activated. So the sound bowls started going. And we all know this from our experiences with meditation, that sometimes the music that plays can really impact the depth of our meditation, how far we go into and what brain waves we're actually in. Music can really impact that. And for those of you who are into music, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Lily, you came to mind immediately, how you're a musician, and music can really help you transcend the moment or transcend the experience. And so, what I find is, or what I found last night was, as soon as she hit a certain note, certain parts of my body would get activated. And I found that really fascinating. So, what do I do? Being me, I call the blues. I'm like, hey, you guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about this vibrational frequency of sound and how it is impacting the body. And they immediately directed me into the breath practice. So as I was doing the breath practice, I have the sound bowls going. My body is completely upright now. I'm sitting up. I can't lie down anymore. I'm too activated because I'm feeling the healing. And I have issues with my neck. I was a gymnast as a child, a lot of old injuries there, terrible mats when I was a kid. They didn't have great equipment. And so I landed on my head a lot, being adventurous and trying new things. So I have a little bit of pain sometimes in my neck from those old injuries. And so that's been the focus of my recent healings, is trying to regrow whatever that issue is in my neck. So immediately I started feeling, when she hit a certain tone on the bowl, I started feeling the energy activating in my neck. What an incredible experience. And pairing that with the heart breath, both forward and backwards. So breathing in and going forward this way and breathing and coming out the other way. If you don't understand that, don't worry about it. It's in another video. But I would love for you and encourage you to try incorporating breath practices from the Blue Healers in other contexts. So for me doing it with the sound healing, I had an incredible benefit in my neck area and my upper back. And the release that was happening with each exhale was so incredible that I just wanted to share that with you and let you know that the Blue Healers came on my request, and they really guided me through how to heal specific areas of my body. So today, when we're doing the body scan, so we'll close our eyes and start the same way we always do with the breath, the heart breath. When you're breathing into your natural breath and experiencing the physical body where you're looking for tension, and I say this every time we do it, maybe you'll find that there's tension in specific areas in your body. So for me, neck area, my right shoulder, for some reason, I tore that rotator cuff when I was a kid, and it just always been a little bit interesting since then. But this morning when I woke up and I was doing my breath practice, I noticed that this right shoulder, where I always find tension, it started to loosen up a little bit. So I was super excited about that. All right, so today we're going to focus on a little bit of that. If you forget all of this in the breath practice, just throw it out the window, concentrate on the breath, and enjoy being in the moment. It doesn't, you can't do it wrong, as Abir likes to say. There's no wrong way of doing this. So it's going to be great either way you do it, whether you have focus or you're just in the moment and focused on your breathing. Lots of good messages also from the Blue Healers. I have been getting more and more breath practices that have not been introduced yet by them. So that will be coming out in the next few weeks to months. And there is a key to healing. So a lot of people ask about healing, and I like to say my goal is to crack the code on healing. How do we have spontaneous healing for people so that they can get the greatest benefit out of one healing session and then all of them combined. So keep working toward that. That's my goal, is to crack the code, because I want all of you to feel well. If I can heal myself from chronic migraines and be called a medical miracle by my neurologist, then I think anyone can heal anything. I really, truly believe that. All right, so let's just take a few moments. Thanks for being here today again. Go ahead and close your eyes and begin to tap into your natural breathing and focus your energy a little bit toward the heart today so that you can connect into the heart and scan the body from head to toe, seeking, searching, looking for any areas of tension. And maybe you notice today that the tension has moved, which is great. And if it has, just let it be what it is. Notice if any pervasive thoughts come up. That's also tension. And notice if you're having any experiences of maybe ruminating, I think would be the word I'd use. So where you're redoing or going over thoughts in your mind, trying to imagine it differently, just in your, as you relax in the breath, allow yourself to sense and feel. And we will begin with the heart breath. Breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4. Release from front to back and up to 8. And continue that breath in through 6 and 5 to 4. Do it at your own pace. And continue for at least 6 more rounds in through 6 and 5 to 4. Expand the heart energy center wide. Release front to back and up to 8. And we have arrived in the space. We thank you for your participation today and want you to know that this month, as it is past the halfway mark, and as we explained in a previous healing and channeling session, we have described that this month is a month of great change, where things would feel as if they are speeding up, moving, and changing. Perhaps some of you going in different directions than where you were before in the month of May. Today, we would also like to remind you that the month of July will slow down in a different kind of way, where you will feel that you are tumbling and turning in the throes of a new project, which means that for those of you who are wishing to begin something new, this would be the time to do it at the end of this month and the beginning of next month. For those of you on a healing journey and a quest for change, and if you have any serious doubts about where you are going or what you should do, know that clarity is coming in the next 2 weeks. And the choice that you need to make for where to go or what to do will become so obvious to you that you will simply take that next step without questioning yourself at all. For those of you, and we understand the human mind well, for those of you who have tenacious minds where you wish to try to figure things out a little bit more, or you doubt or question yourself, tap into the breathing practice to allow yourself a space whereby you can release the need for control, which is what you call it in your human world. However, from our perspective, it is simply that you are caught in a vibrational frequency of the mind, the human mind, that requires you to speak with yourself more repeatedly than is absolutely necessary. So we would like to begin now with your first question.
Thank you. First question is from Victoria. How do you synchronize your meeting time if there is no common timeline? How do you know when it's time to be somewhere? Can you ever be late? Thank you.
We find this to be a very interesting question because for us, time does not exist. We are where we are supposed to be in every moment. For you, there is an idea that somehow time is linear, or it is perhaps stacked, meaning that multiple things are happening on the same timeline, either in the seen or the unseen world. And for you, perhaps that is true. However, from our perspective, when you think about us, we are present. When you ask us questions, we are present. That does not mean that we are not elsewhere at the same time. It simply means that your attention focuses on us and our awareness suddenly is where you are simply because it is your request. So it is maybe a time for you, Victoria, to take into your meditation the possibility of how time, if it does not exist, might allow you, if it does not exist, to be present here, there, and everywhere in your life as well. So maybe it is that you find your meditation is separate from the time when you are at work, or from the time when you are preparing yourself for your day, or when you are doing any human activity whatsoever. And then imagine for yourself that meditation exists simultaneously with all of the other things that you're doing, and also that you are working in some capacity within you, as well as producing or preparing for your day. So come back to us again next time, Victoria, or we would like to hear what perception or perspective has changed in you as a result of your practice of letting go of linear time. What can you accomplish in a space where there is no time? What can you accomplish in a space where time is irrelevant? And what addictions do you, not just you, Victoria, but each of you in this space, do you have to time itself? Is it part of your survival mechanism so that if you can control time around you, then you will always know where you need to be in any given moment? So think about this. If, as we have spoken about in other talks such as this, that the survival mechanism in the human is so pronounced that a need for time will be pronounced as well, because it will allow you to know where safety is in every moment. What might happen for each and all of you if you decided that you did not need that mechanism of safety, that you would show up where you're meant to be on time, and that you would experience everything that you need to experience without being anywhere or doing anything in time? That somehow it will all happen, as you might say, magically. Consider this, and we would like to hear your experiences the next time we meet. Your next question, please.
Thank you. The next question is from Paula Martins. I have a personal project that is still on the paper. What guidance do you have to ensure that I am on the right path or not, and taking the right steps in its unfolding? Thank you.
Paula, this question is specific to you, and we do not have the details you seek. Remember that from our perspective, we can see everything and all things at all times, which means that if you ask a general question, and this is a message for everyone, if you ask a general question, we might find that serendipity in the moment or whimsy, whatever strikes our fancy, will become the answer. And so for you, the question is that there is an idea on a paper. Crumple the paper and throw it away. Allow the idea to exist in the realm of nothing. From there, you will know exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Simply follow the vibrational frequency of coherence when you bring your intention to the quantum field. And if you are still confused about what to do the breath practice until an answer comes to you. And for us, we would recommend a combination of the heart breath and the spiral breath. Come back to us and share what it is you have discovered within yourself at our next meeting. We will take your next question, please.
Next question is from Natalie Duffy. As we move beyond linear constructs of time and into the deeper intelligence of Mobius time, what truths are ready to be revealed about how our past, present, and future selves are actively co-creating reality in unison? How can we work with this to dissolve old karmic imprints, anchor higher timelines, and embody the version of ourselves who already lives the healed, whole, and liberated life? What practices or awarenesses help us access this fold in time where quantum healing and soul retrieval become instantaneous? Thank you.
You have offered us such a beautiful, multi-layered question from the perspective of the 3D world. So allow us to address a few of these things, and if clarification is needed, we will ask for it in a moment. So, the Mobius strip of time, as you have explained it, is a concept where we have recently begun to examine what that might mean from the human mind. And so the Mobius strip is a line that has been twisted and reconnected to itself. So there is an endless loop of experience. This is a little bit closer to the truth of timelessness. However, if you can make that 3D and expand it even farther to what you would call 4D from a drawing perspective on Earth, you will get even closer to how time or experience exists for anything outside of the 3D reality. So, for example, if you are a person walking on a Mobius strip, you will come back to what appears to be the original starting point of your timeline, only it will continue on forever instead of being a linear start to stop, like a human walking on a ruler or down a path. Instead, the Mobius strip concept is that you continue walking in infinity, the infinity symbol in your world. Now imagine that when you walk on this Mobius strip, you get back to what you believe to be your original starting point. However, it is not the same. It is entirely different. So, where a linear existence requires you to have a somewhat or perceived new experience in every moment until your timeline ends in what you call death of the human body, then the Mobius strip is different because somehow you will or your life will continue on forever. Now, if you were to imagine that you take this into another dimension where you are also not returning to anything that is familiar or a familiar starting point from the question that you asked, you will find that you are beginning to live in the quantum field of timelessness. So, for many of you, and we believe that much of the rest of your question can be answered with what we are about to say. For many of you, you want to know your purpose. You want to understand your timeline. You want to experience what it is you are meant to do because you are racing to complete something before the end of this life. Because the human body, well, the story of your human body is that you are born, you grow up, and then you live a while, and then you die, is so very limited, and that wisdom comes a little bit later in life than many of you would prefer, and that you want to take your body of work or practice into the future and experience the future in a longer period of time, there is a sense of urgency for you to discover who you are, what your purpose is, and how you can fulfill it before the physical body begins to wane. For many of you, our recommendation is that you begin to focus a little bit more on how to unwind the story of the human experience. And that means that you will understand a little more about how the human body can extend itself for a greater period of time. The stories that you tell yourselves are extremely limiting, but they are very helpful for those of you who need to exist in the survival mechanism of the human condition. Also, understand that even if it is in the very last breath of the experience in this 3D body, you discover who you are and what your purpose is. It is a little bit like being in the 3D or 4D Mobius strip, where you will simply tumble into the next lifetime and re experience and have a, an endless experience of achieving your purpose again in the 3D world, should you choose to incarnate again on Earth in the 3D form. So, we would like to ask you all a question that you can think of in your own mind. If you knew that there was no end to your experience in this world, whether it is in the body that you are currently inhabiting or the many bodies you will have going forward, because so many of you will choose to reincarnate or come back to the earth plane to have many more experiences, if you knew there was no end, how would you then focus your energy so that you can remember the body of practice you have in this lifetime so that it will extend more with more fluency into the next one? So you have choices about how you spend your time in your human world, and you have a couple of options. Do you wish to struggle with trying to define your purpose in this lifetime? Do you wish to attempt to extend your life in the physical body that you have by unwinding the tensions and discord, dis-ease, and lack of harmony in the physical body that you have? And we will remind you that the breath practices that we offer can assist you greatly in this. Or do you wish to discover a way to release this physical body, yet maintain a clear awareness of who you are in your purpose so that as you incarnate into another physical form, you can simply use your time wisely to get back to that purpose in the most efficient manner? So you have options for this lifetime and you have options for your future. How you choose to use your energy is entirely up to you. Just know that there is an endless source of wellness. There is an endless source of information for you to do all of these things simultaneously. You do not need to choose just one. It is simply for you to begin to understand how to most efficiently access that space of co creating within yourself that will allow for extended life in the body you have, increased coherence, connection, and clarity between lifetimes, and to immediately tap into your purpose in this lifetime so that you know exactly what it is you are meant to do, whereby preventing you from perhaps using energy for things that no longer serve you, meaning energy toward the survival mechanism of the human experience that you are having currently. Please clarify if there are more parts to this question we have not addressed.
We may need clarity at a later time, but for now we will move on to the next question. Peter would like to know, am I doing everything I can to support and encourage Derek's spiritual growth? Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Peter. And we are so grateful that you continue to ask. in the way that you have asked, because the love in your heart is truly the greatest gift you can give Derek at any given moment. And you know this. The journey is for Derek to discover and uncover with himself, within himself. And all you can do at this point is be a guide to prepare the space for him as it emerges, and to understand that as you do your breath practices and release the tensions in your body, you free yourself, whereby freeing everyone around you, which includes Derek. There is another additional layer for which we would like to speak to you directly that is not in this public space, and we will do so in an upcoming session or conversation with you. For those of you who are in support of anyone on a healing journey, the most important thing you can do for the person in the healing experience is to love and support them in every moment where they are, by expanding your heart, your level of coherence and connection between the heart and the mind. There is a point at which everyone in their own individual healing journey, and we can use Derek as an example in this case. Derek is on a very magical human experience of healing. At the same time, his body is needing to work through some processes, and it would take us some time to explain each individual experience that is unfolding, unwinding, or loosening, or becoming coherent within him. Instead, know that the basic experience of healing is the same for all of you. You all are beginning to have an experience of letting go of, releasing the need for, not only the survival mechanism within the human, but the many, many lifetimes and experiences you've had in the earth world, or in your starseed origins, or any stopovers you've had in between that may have included other planets, other life forms, other timelines, other experiences in your universe. Derek has been around a very long time. It could be said that Derek has been around from the origination of the universe itself. And in those experiences, he has collected a body of knowledge. He is a living library of these experiences. And there are many beings in the universe who have particular interest in Derek as a person, as a human, as a living experience of this library of information, because his experience, just as it is with every individual on this call, on your planet, every individual has a collection of information that is unique. It is why you all look different on your world. You have become a living library of generations of humans, of generations, if you will, of your experiences throughout time and space from the origination of the energy expansion itself. So, Derek, you are a unique individual, and the relationship you have with your father is a special one. Your support system and support team is unique, and it is partially due to that, but not exclusively, why it is that the dimensional beings have such an interest in you. You are at a point in your timeline, if you wish to call it that, where you are exploding from seed form to plant form to explosion into a bud that emerges into a flower, and the petals will release and everything will return back to the earth again. This is something for which you need to perhaps understand what that means. So you are a living experience of the universe, expanding from seed form to plant form to flower form to seed form to earth form all over again. And it is happening very rapidly for you in your timeline as Derek in this world on this planet. It is not necessary for you to race time, Derek. It is not necessary for you, Peter, to race time to protect or to save Derek. Derek will be Derek as long as he needs to be Derek. He will be an inspiration to many around him, and he will expire in the time that is required, in the moment that is required for him and his choices and where he is going next. It is so important, though, for the two of you to understand, and for each of you on this call, this message is for everyone. These two individuals we speak to at this time are simply representatives of experiences each of you are having in your lives in this moment. It may be in regards to health and wellness or something entirely different. And it is for you to be able to make the leap and the understanding of how to apply this knowledge to your individual lives. Derek, you are evolving and emerging from this lifetime into something very different. And the expiration of your human experience will mean that you explode into a beautiful representation of the entire universe all at once. It is as if when you expire as a human this lifetime, you explode into the entire universe of stars in the sky. It will be a beautiful moment of transformation, not only for you, for your father, for your children and who they are becoming, for every life that you have touched in this lifetime and others, but also to understand that that body of knowledge from you that you have experienced and that you are experiencing now, that you have brought with you, that you have become this beautiful representation of the human experience, will go back into and fold into the darkness between the stars and the stars themselves. So simultaneously, you will become something much greater and more beautiful than you could even imagine in your human mind. And so, our recommendation to you, Derek, to you, Peter, is to begin to release your need to race time, to begin to release your need for any specific outcome for whatever it is you believe needs to happen. It is not the magical moment in the future you are seeking. It is the magical moment of right now. Allow yourselves to blossom in love in every moment, to blossom in the conversation of love in every moment, and to sip directly from the nectar of life in every moment, for every moment that you have in this lifetime. Know that it will be a transition for you, as each human needs to transition at an unknown time, and the timeline may expand or contract based on whatever it is you are doing in the moment. And know that it will be a beautiful experience for everyone when these transitions happen, whether it is today, tomorrow, next week, 2 years, 2 decades, 100 years, or 100,000 years. It is irrelevant because when you are living in the moment, you are having the experience of timelessness and the beauty of your becoming. Know that, Derek, you will also have an opportunity to return to be with your children again if you choose that. So, as you expand into the universe, you may choose to come back with your children in the form, in a 3D form, where you will be one of their children or one of their loved ones in some capacity. Do not make this decision lightly. Do not make this decision from an emotional state of desperation or desire. Instead, make it from a place of looking at humanity as a whole. Where do I belong in my transition? When I choose to return, will it be for this or will it be for something different? That will give you some time and some thought to take into the quantum field in your meditations. And Peter, for you, love is your greatest gift. Love is your superpower, and love is what you can do more of for your son. Your beautiful heart is just that. and it is all you need to do. So rest in the understanding that simplicity in love is what you have to bring. And anytime you ask yourself, is there more than I can do for Derek? Say to yourself, I can bring more love. I can expand my heart wider. I can understand that love is the only thing I have left to offer, and the day to day activities will expand from that place of love. We will take your next question, please.
Next question is from Anna Dominguez. Dear Blue Healers, I have been practicing your breathwork daily for a few months now. I usually feel a lot of energy move through my body. Recently, my arms, especially my right arm, shakes and vibrates a lot during the breathwork. Can you tell me what this means with regards to my arms? Is it just my nervous system recalibrating, or is energy being released or downloaded? Thank you for your guidance and sending so much love.
Thank you for your question, Anna. And this answer will be a little more specific. However, we will broaden the answer as well for the benefit of all beings on this call. You have lost a child somewhere along the way, and the energy of cradling and holding this child is still within your arm. It may have been this lifetime or a previous lifetime. The timeline is irrelevant. It is that the energy of that experience and that loss still lives within you in the arm that you describe. So, for us to give you one recommendation, it would be to do the breath, where your feet are solidly on the ground, and you imagine your feet are sinking into the earth and creating roots into the soil beneath you. You do not need to be outside for the experience. Just imagine in your mind's eye that your feet are in the soil, that roots are growing down, and that you begin the breath practice by breathing from the feet through these roots into your heart. As you expand your heart wide, envision this infant in your arms, this fetus in your arms, this child at full size in your arms. And as you release and exhale, the energy will release down your arm, specifically your arm that is affected, your right arm, from the shoulder to the elbow to the hand, and back out into the universe itself. You may find that as you continue this breath, breathing in through the feet to the heart and releasing from the heart down the arm into the universe, you may wish to direct the energy back to the earth, out to the sky, out to the stars, out to the moon, or you may place that hand back on your heart so that when you release the energy, it recycles back into your heart. You will find that if you bring the hand back to the heart, when you exhale and the energy returns, it may be only for a few breaths and you will need to release the hand into another direction, release the energy into another direction. As you recycle that energy back to the heart by placing the hand on the heart, it will be what you call healing the inner child and the child of loss. It will begin to heal trauma from your past, from when you were a little girl in this lifetime. And then you will find that as you continue the breath and continue doing the breath until you reach the point where you breathe in through the feet to the heart expands. All sensation of loss, of trauma, of pain, of discomfort are released, and the breath will go down through both the arms and out into the universe, where your palms will rise up, whether it is just flipping them over on your lap or you put them up into the sky, and you will find that you breathe in through the feet to the heart. The heart will expand to the universe, the release from the heart through the arms, through the palms, back out into the night sky, the stars, the sun, whatever it is you see above you in your sky. Then you will know the process of release is complete. You may find that the discomfort in your arm returns. If that is the case, repeat the process as many times as is necessary until the release is so complete that the sensation in your arm is no longer there, where it is feeling a sense of discomfort, tension, shaking, moving, or whatever it is that you have associated with this question from the very beginning. So we hope that this is understandable to you. If you do not understand the breath practice, please return to one of the previous recordings. We have done this practice at length at a previous time. Your next question, please.
Next question is from Tracy. You recently told me to make a decision on a warmer climate to relocate to, and my decision is Hawaii. Being that I am an immigrant, what is the next step to moving there? Thank you.
This is a beautiful question, and it has a very specific 3D answer. You need to follow the steps of the legal system for wherever it is you wish to move, because that is the way that you will find entry into a place that is not your homeland. And so, in doing that as well, we recommend the heart breath, where you breathe in through 6 and 5 to 4, and you release front to back and up to 8. In doing this practice, allow your destination, the place you have chosen, to be in front of you as if it is a loved one. And when you release from front to back, your breath energy will go from yourself to your destination. It will circle around to the back and up to 8, where it will mingle with the information of the collective information of the 3D world. When you breathe back in through 6 and 5, tempering that information with the mind and with the communication center of 5 down to the heart, where it will expand once again, you will release front to back to your destination, around to the back of the heart center and up to 8. Continue this breath repeatedly as you go through the steps for whatever is required for legal entry into your new home. Your next question, please.
We believe some of our son's anxiety issues are related to situations in this life, some to family karma, but seem to come from other lifetimes. How do we guide him through this? Raisa asks.
Give us a moment, please, to tap into the energy of this child. For those of you who have children, understand that in your world, it is important to understand the letting go process with children in the 3D realm, how to allow them to expand and contract in the process of wisdom and of innocence in childhood, and to be everywhere in between, that your arms are lovingly around them and expand wide as they expand wide. When a child enters into the womb with an anxiety pattern from a previous lifetime or previous experience, or perhaps they are remembering anxiety as you have experienced it while they were in utero, know that it is simply the same unwinding process that you are going through as an adult in these sessions, in your meditations, and in the process of expansion and awareness, or increase of awareness and increase in a state of coherence in your heart. This particular child, we see that somewhere around the age of 4, there was a minor trauma that has created an anxiety response. It is somehow related to the religion that you experienced once in your life, or maybe they are experiencing in their lives. There is a fear of darkness, there is a fear of death, and there is a fear of a patriarchal dark force that makes decisions for those in your religion, whereby it creates a fear response in the people who participate in this religion. For those of you in your world who experience religious practices, understand within the next 200 to 300 years, possibly sooner on your planet, these religious practices will cease to exist as you know them. Simply because, in order for awareness to expand on your planet, religion will need to cease to exist at all. There is a challenge within religious understandings where duality has to happen in order for you to be on the positive side of vibrational frequency. How very curious this is for us to examine, and we don't give it much thought until questions such as these come up. There are other things we would think about in place of this. And so here is this little child who has had a trauma whereby he feels completely helpless to the pain and suffering of the religious practices of your world. How confusing it is for a child to come into this world to be born without any sort of experience of duality, of suffering as you have defined it within the religious context. And then suddenly an age upon him arrives and his awareness increases. And this is, and now has become a trauma and tumble into a tumble into the need for and grasping at survival. It is not on a physical level for this child, however. It is on a level where the child now is having a crisis within him that involves his understanding of and the reality of the natural world in its energetic form. And so he has one hand grasping at the 3D reality and the other hand lovingly open to and cradling the 5D reality. And so the conflict of religion has become now more focused as he gets older. Whether it is conscious, unconscious, practiced, or not practiced is irrelevant. The information has come through not only in words and experiences, but also in his DNA. So, as a mother or a father, what is your choice here? Would you like to begin to release your need for these memories, these experiences of religious practice, these stories that are limited and binding? Or would you like to foster the expansion of the heart in the 5D realm where energy is simply what it is? Suffering is not a thing in the 5D reality. Experiences are what they are. Suffering then becomes the reality, the definition, the stories that humans create around one thing or another that become lodged in the story world. And so then you begin to live it out and become older, and then you try to unwind it later. As a parent, we ask you now, which do you prefer? Do you want to hold more tightly to your religious practice, whereby allowing your children to then have to figure out and unwind the limitations of those stories and experiences later in life? Or would you like to begin to foster, nurture, and bring coherence into the heart, the lack of duality or suffering in general, at a younger age so that they can live in a world that has far more freedom than you experienced over the course of your life? The choice is entirely yours. There is no wrong thing. We are neither for nor against religion. We see the many wonderful benefits of it. But if your child has an anxiety response that is directly related to some religious trauma or religious experience, either from your lifetime through DNA or his own lifetime through experience he's had, what outcome do you wish for this child? Do you wish to foster and nurture love and expansion in the heart? And can you do it within the context of your religion? If the answer is yes, then do that. If the answer is, I am not sure, then the answer is no, you cannot do that. So choose a path accordingly for what goals and practices you wish to teach your child in this lifetime, and understand that sometimes children are fed information from their parents, and their parents wonder why the children then act that way. How curious it is for us as fifth dimensional beings to wonder how it is that there are questions involved with parenting in your world. Why did my child turn out this way? Why does my child believe this? 100% of the time, it is because of information that you have fed your child either through conscious or unconscious behaviors. Parenting in your world is a lovely experience. It allows you to examine within yourself. What is truth? What is expansion in the heart? And what is a limited experience that someone gave me from the past, my past, or that maybe I am still sourcing from my future? If you consider the possibility that time does not exist, the future is informing you as well. Because the future is predictable for all of you if you are living from a place of the limitations of the stories, the mythologies, and the experiences of the past. So, as we have been talking to you, we have also been sending healing to this child. We hope that the words have been a positive distraction for all of you, knowing that humans require words, humans require the distraction, and it is during these times that we can send the energetic frequencies to you or to your children in the process. You have the beautiful opportunity right now for those of you who are curious to know more about parenting. You have the beautiful opportunity to expand the heart center of your child. Simply be mindful of the experiences you allow them to have, whether it is with other people, with your media, with your education system, or anything else. And know that you cannot and probably should not sequester your children in a room whereby they have no experiences of the world in order to protect them from the inevitable suffering they will experience in the human world in this lifetime. Little steps, little bits of information, little openings in love are all that is required in this moment and every moment. Simply keep breathing into your heart, loving yourself more and more, expanding your heart and the level of coherence in which you live more and more. And you will teach your children to do the same simply through your own practice. Your next question, please.
It is now the top of the hour. Would you like one more question?
At this time, we would like to do a breath practice with you. And so we ask that you close your eyes. And we will do the breath practice we described a little earlier, where you breathe in through your feet and up to the heart, and expand the heart energy center wide. From there, you will release the energy with the exhale, contracting the heart energy center, releasing the breath down the arms, through the palms, and out into the sky. And so we will give you guidance for the first few breaths, and then we may remain silent or not, depending on the energy in the space. So close your eyes if you have not already done so, and breathe in through your feet, up your legs, to your heart, expanding the heart energy center wide. And release from the heart down the arms through the palms. Please turn your palms up on your lap, relaxing the arms as much as possible, and continue breathing in through the feet to the heart. And releasing from the heart down the arms through the palms. And as you continue this cycle, we explain to you now that you are in a symbiotic relationship with your planet. And in this symbiotic relationship, energies will be exchanged. And so as you breathe in through the feet to the heart, you are drawing information from your beautiful earth. And as you release from your heart through the arms out into the sky, you are exchanging information from you to your world around you. Please continue the breath as we explain more. Your earth would like you to know some information about this relationship. Your earth would like you to know that if you think you are harming her, then you are. If you think that your world is out of balance, then it will be. She would like for you to imagine how big you are as one human on the size of your entire planet. She would like for you to imagine how you, as one tiny individual, can impact the world itself. And she would like for you to understand that now is the time for those of you with awareness, those of you who are capable of understanding the symbiotic relationship, for you to release the need for the conversation around the raping and pillaging of the planet. There will be people who will use her resources. There will be people who use her resources in a way that maybe is not aligned with your belief system. It is now time for you to let go of the need for trying to fix that, for talking about it in a way that is negative. Instead, focus your energies, due to your awareness, on the fact that your earth can replenish herself wholly and completely in every moment. And so it is her request that you understand that as you breathe from your feet to your heart and release from your heart through your palms, that she is in a process of renewal as well. Conversations that you have, because your level of awareness is much greater, impact the world in a different way. You are beginning to override unconscious patterns for humanity. And so it is important that you are mindful of the conversations that you have. Your earth is, as she would like to be described, somewhat feminine. However, there are masculine principles whereby which she can take care of herself wholly and completely. The more you sink into the love and affection and connection you have to your earth, the more that information will spread like wildflowers throughout your planet. And so as you continue this breath from your feet to your heart, from your heart through your palms, this symbiotic relationship, not only with your planet, expands to the others in this space, and to their families, and to their communities, and to their places of origin, and to the world itself. You are a very small being on this planet, but that does not diminish your ability to co-create with her, to co-create with one another, to refresh and renew yourself as she refreshes and renews herself. Bring into your world conversations of beauty, of love, and connection. And when you are afraid, reach out to her, meaning your earth, in this breath practice, and she will bring you calm feelings of warmth, of love, of connection, of understanding, of joy, and of beauty. You can rest in her arms at any moment in time. by breathing in through the feet to the heart and exhaling from the heart through your palms. Perhaps there will come a moment where you wish to place your hands on your own heart to bring this energy back into your own heart. Please try this now. Breathe in through the feet to the heart. Release from the heart down the arms through your palms. Notice how this beautiful energy with every breath reinforms your heart, reinforms your mind, reinforms your body, and you become, once again, unified with all living things. And as you continue this breath, try tipping your head back or tipping your head forward. Notice the sensation in your body and how the energy moves either more quickly or more slowly with the positioning of your spine. Perhaps you wish to place your palms now on your forehead or on your belly or on your lap. Try each place and see how it creates greater connection for you within yourself. And send your next exhale out through the top of your head, in through the feet to the heart, and release through the top of the head. And now breathe in from 8 to 1 in a spiral. Release from 1 to 9. Breathe in from 9 to 0 in a spiral. And release from 0 to 9. And one more time. Breathe in from 9 to 0. Release from 0 to 9. And resume natural breathing, scanning your body once again for any information that may be lingering or for changes in your energy field. And we wish to thank you for your time in this space, for the beautiful energy that you have co-created today, for the continued interest in our work, and for reaching out to us in any moment when you have questions. Your connection to 5D is increasing rapidly for each of you, and you will find it more potent in the collective space such as this. Return as often as possible, join together in other types of groups, and be sure that you are bringing your heart into coherence with your mind and your belly so that your human experience can become more easeful, more graceful, more beautiful, and that your memory will extend far into this lifetime and future lifetimes as well.